Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable, my lecturer Madam Rusliyawati, SMSIAK, and all of the audience. First of all, let us thanks to the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His blessing, I am able to finish this analysis. Secondly, salawat and salam also delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness into the brightness. Well, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Dinda from International Accounting of Economic and Business Faculty, Universitas Tanjung Pura. In this occasion, I'd like to present about analysis of macro and micro environment in Google company. When I call Google, of course, none of us are unfamiliar with that. We feel like Google is our best friend at this time, who knows all of the informations. It is obvious that the successfulness of this company cannot be separated from a series of hard work and the implementation of a good work culture in it. Google is a company from the US that focuses on internet services. This company was born from a research project conducted by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. It started in 1996 when the two founders collaborated to develop a search engine that was originally named Google. Google is a mathematical term for the largest number followed by 100 zeros after it. This name is taken to describe Google's mission as an infinite storehouse of information on the internet. At the beginning, Google is started from a garage named Susan Garage in Menlo Park, California. In this garage, Page and Brin assembled computer server and built a Google data center. Google's homepage is expected to be as simple as possible. Okay, but before we do the analysis, we must know about the external audit itself. Actually, this topic examines the tools and concepts needed to conduct an external strategic management audit, or sometimes called as external environmental analysis. So, an external analysis focuses on identifying and evaluating trends and events beyond the control of a single firm. It reveals key opportunities and threats confronting an organization and also the global problems faced by the company. The purpose of an external audit is to develop a finite list of opportunities that could benefit a firm and threats that should be avoided. As the term finite suggests, the external audit is not aimed at developing an exhaustive list of every possible factor that could influence the business. Rather, it is aimed at identifying key variables that offer actionable responses. Firms should be able to respond either offensively or defensively to the factor by formulating strategies that take advantage of external opportunities or minimize the impact of potential threats. Okay. The organization The organizational environments include all elements existing outside the boundary of an organization that have the potential to affect it. Thus, companies need to do analysis related to organizational environments. The consideration in designing strategic analysis are macro and micro environment aspect on Google company. From the slides, we can see that the factors affecting macro environments are economy, social, politics, legal, technology, and last demography, while factors affecting microenvironments are new entrants, competitor, substitute product, buyer, and last is supplier. The macro environment encompasses the broad context in which a company is situated and is comprised of six principal components. Number one, economic force. Economic factors have a direct impact on the potential attractiveness of various strategies. Economic conditions include the general economic climate and specific factors such as interest rates, action rates, the inflation rate, the unemployment rate, the rate of economic growth, and so on. From the slide, we can see that the economic force of Google company is number one. Economically, because Google has large amount of cash on hand, they are vulnerable to inflation as well as global US dollar fluctuation. And number two, because they are an international company, the economic stability of major markets and development of many countries can be seen as an opportunity for Google to be stable and to grow. Number two, social force. Social force include the social values, attitudes, culture, cultural factors, and lifestyle that impact business, as well as demographic factors such as the population size, growth rate, and age distribution. Social factors vary by locale and change over time. Looking into the social threat and opportunities concerning Google's analysis, we can see that the rise of social media can be dangerous. For example, Facebook is strong competition in online advertising and over platform of searching for the average user. Number two, the decline in traditional TV can also be seen as a threat as many alternative video platforms online can offer direct competition to YouTube. Number three, Amazon is also a big competition on social market as on the internet they have a strong shopping platform present as well as Amazon Video, which also competes directly with YouTube. However, there is a big opportunity for Google and that is the rise in internet search. Many youth point to Google as their go-to search engine provider and Google search has more potential to continue being developed used by the world. And then number three is about political force. These factors include political policies and processes, including the extent to which a government intervenes in the economy. They include such matters as tax policy, fiscal policy tariffs, and political climate, as well as the strength of institutions. Although Google is not a government-affiliated company, they have lots of political factors that can affect their decision. The first one is the anti-trust movement is a big threat of Google as some people are claiming Google to be unevil, and I begin to use other search engine as a result. And then the last, government suspicious of Google ulterior motive as Google in a tight position with China and European Union, as China support their own state and support company that compete against Google, and the European Union is taking retaliatory action against Google, calling it as US monopoly giant. Number four is about legal force. These factors include the regulation and laws with which company must comply such as customer laws, labor laws, antitrust laws, and occupational health and safety regulation. So because Google is such a large company, it is imperative that it complies to legal codes and laws. Failure to comply can result in fines and legal actions against the company. Also, antitrust action is well on its way with the European Union spearheading the distrust. And at last, Google, however, owns many patents, which is an opportunity for Google to successfully take legal action against other companies and profit from them. Number five is about technology force. Technological factors include the pace of technological change and technical development that have the potential for wide-ranging effect on society. They include institutions involved in creating knowledge and controlling the use of technology. Because Google is considered the technology, there is a growing number of opportunities for the company. Number one, due to the increase in the number of technological devices, more people have access to Google and its service giving Google the opportunity to spread to people who are unreachable before. Number two, technological innovation give the most research and development opportunity as they are a company based on technological innovation. However, there are other technological giants such as Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, and other apps or products which offer competition in today's technology market. And then the last is about Apple. Apple is a major competitor in the same market as Google. Their action can either be a threat or an opportunity for Google. So Google should always be aware of Apple's action. And then the last is about demography force. These include ecological and environmental forces such as weather, climate change, and associated factors such as water storage. These factors can directly impact industry. There are many environmental opportunities for Google. For instance, they have the opportunity to develop environmentally sustainable methods. They also have an opportunity to build a reputation as an environmentally aware company. And then as other companies go green, there is more pressure on Google to find green ways to use electricity. This could be treated as prices are usually upped by the cost of environmentally green ways and could also be an opportunity of as Google is already quite green and environmentally aware as a company. Okay guys, I think that's all about the macro environmental factors. And then we jump to the factor affecting microenvironment. So the first one is about new entrants. So several factors determine whether the threat of new companies entering the marketplace present a significant competitive pressure. One factor related to the size of the pool of likely entry candidates and resort in their comment. As a rule, the bigger the pool of entry candidates, the stronger the threat of potential entry. This is especially true when some of the likely entry candidates have ample research to support entry into a new line of business. The threat of search engine newcomers include Key from Indonesia, Blacko from California, Brave from San Francisco. So Google must convince customers that Google is the only one search engine with best quality in the world. Number two, competitor. The strongest of the five competitive forces is nearly always the rivalry among competing sellers of a product or service. In effect, a market is a competitive battlefield where there is no end to the campaign for buyer patronage. The main competitor of Google is Yahoo. Yahoo is a multinational internet company in Sunnyvale, California, United States. The company was quite famous in 200s and then became one of the largest websites in the United States. Yahoo managed to attract visitors by offering sites in 30 languages. Although until now Google is still far superior to Yahoo, Google still has to maintain its performance so that it is not defeated by Yahoo or other companies. Number three is about substitute product. Companies is one industry are vulnerable to competitive pressure from the action of companies in another industry whenever buyers view the products of the two industries as good substitute. Substitute products are indirect competitors that can reduce demand and price. There are several types of substitution, namely alternative product, new products, elimination of needs, generic substitution, and the desire not to buy. One of the pressure from the substitute product is brave. Therefore, the strategies that can be applied include simplifying the process of using Google and maintaining customer privacy when using it. Number four, buyers. Whether sellers buyer relationships represent a minor or significant competitive force depends on one, whether buyers have sufficient leverage, and two, the extent to which buyers are price sensitive. Because Google is a company engaged in service, there are no obstacles in terms of buyer. This happens because Google can be operated in all countries in the world. And number five, whether the supplier of industry member represent a weak or strong competitive force depends on the degree to which supplier have sufficient bargaining power to influence the term and condition of supply in their favor. Suppliers with strong bargaining power can erode industry profitability. By charging industry members higher prices, passing costs onto them, and limiting their opportunities to find better deals. Google must be able to maintain good relations with the company it cooperates with. This is done to avoid blocking the use of Google against the company. Okay guys, finally we are come to the last agenda. Hopefully the presentation will give benefit for us. If there is further question, kindly contact me through an email. Okay guys, I think that's all and see you.
Record.